morning, Professor.
Morning.
Thank you so much for coming to India, and it's an honor to meet you. And being from MIT and from School of Management, could you throw some light on what is your message for the teachers in a business school? Because you do a lot of action research, you do a lot of field research, and your work is renowned in the area of qualitative research. So we train a lot of teachers in VIT Business School or in VIT University. So could you give some light, you can talk to the camera so that others can learn from you and see what is your message is, what a business school teacher should really work on, whatever subject they are.
So I think that in any professional school, our goal is to create graduates who can go out there and do things. It's sort of ironic that very often our teaching is not about doing. Our teaching is about talking, analyzing, discussing, and writing, which are all incredibly important, but we don't necessarily design our educational programs with doing at the center. So I became really interested in how we can make action a core part of the educational experience, but not separate it from learning from books and lectures and discussions and assignments. So to do that, I've actually really worked hard on approaches to action learning. So in action learning, you define a problem, hopefully with a collaborator in a setting that's could be anywhere, but in my case, they're usually in low resource settings. And then this team of students, in this case, closely guided by a faculty, address the problem, working hand in hand over a long period of time. The trick that I've really built into the process is to combine the practical action with reflection, planning, and linkage to curriculum. So too often these action projects are viewed as something separate and different, and that traditional faculty don't get their hands dirty and they sort of say, well, you go out there and figure that out, that's part of what you're supposed to learn. And then they come back and just give some final presentation. But if you're not actually both rolling up your sleeves together, you're missing an opportunity for learning from action at a fine-grained level. So I'm really interested in that fine-grained approach.
Okay.
I can tell you a little bit about some of the methods that are really effective, that include getting students to formulate hypotheses as they go, to document their assumptions as well as their new insights every week. They have to they have to fill in a detailed, it's actually a form, every Monday morning by 8 a.m. This week's kind of key issue, surprises from last week, and so on. And after 14 weeks of doing this, we have a really amazing record of their thinking that's time-stamped. Sometimes on the last day of class, I print that out. Students are amazed at their journey they have undertaken because they don't actually remember. It feels very much as if they knew it all along by the time they work through one of these projects. They don't even realize what they didn't know at the beginning by the time they get to the end. So that's one piece that I think is really important.
So you say the teachers should, along with the students, dirty hands, get to the root and then take them to the action.
No, that is the action learning, is getting your hands dirty. So pick a project where you can work shoulder to shoulder with your students. I guarantee as a professor you're going to learn something new. But it's a very different relationship from the traditional. If you're both entering something you don't know everything about, you're both going to be exploring. You're going to have to be quite humble and show your own lack of knowledge. And it recalibrates the whole relationship with students.